Hey guys, in this video we're gonna go over some more JavaScript car dealership scenarios. So we have this little code pen here, and what we got in it is we just have a button that when we click it, it's gonna run a function that's gonna map the car models, right? Just to show you what it does. When we click it, it shows us the car brand and then how many models it has for each. Right, just to show you, I'll add in Forerunner. Pretty sure that's how you spell the model there. Anyhow, there you go. So we just added to the list, right? Great. So we have a div called list, and it has an ID right here so that we can insert our data into that HTML. So nothing much going on in the HTML, no styling, so we'll skip over that. Going to the JavaScript, what we have is a array that's got objects in it, right? And then those objects have their key value pairs in here, and we have brand, model, and quantity, right? And for the case of this, we didn't get too into the data, but moving on down to the functions that we have put in place to show this. So what we needed to do is we needed to get the item brand and the item models, right? Because each iteration in this function right here is an item. So each of these is an item. So that's why when we run through it for each item in the array for each object here, which an item and an object are the same thing for this, in this case, we put those into a variable after we join them, right? So right here, we actually join them. We put a colon right there to show each brand, and then we show the brands, right? So once we have that variable, we're basically just grabbing that element by that ID and then inserting into it, just inner HTML, what goes inside of that that element with that ID. And in this case, what we're doing is we're using the higher order function map to actually insert what comes out of this function into there. So this is probably something that you can run into that would be a pretty common problem that you might need. So might need to do, right? You might need to throw this stuff into a list. So I'm just going to refresh this, and we're just going to play with this a little bit just to show how much this thing can vary. So what I'm going to do is I could just jump in here. If we want is to see the brand and the quantity, all I would have to do is join those two items, and I can actually go in here and say item models, right? And this is just to prove to you that we are really pulling from this array's objects right here, and show you the versatility in it. Because once you actually make this code, it's a good thing to actually see what it does. So then also I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to take out the return statement in this function, right? Well, see, now it does nothing, right? Except for output this comma. I think that's a comma. Yeah. All it does is it just runs, but there's nothing there to output. And the reason for that being is that this function has to return a variable that has these two items joined, right? And so let's do another thing too. Let's go ahead, and I'm just gonna do, we're gonna do all the things. We're gonna go and we're gonna do item models. I'm gonna do item dot quantities. And we're gonna actually see right here. Oh, quantity. TY. And there it is, right? We have have these brands with these models that have these quantities, and we can display this a lot better obviously, but this is just showing you what this is doing. This is running through this array, right? Or this function is running through whatever it's passed, and it is spitting this out and returning it so that we can take it and we can insert it into the document. So anyhow, that's how you do that. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.